Hello YouTube people, welcome to my AliExpress summer sales promotional video in which I will show you my 30 watches that I currently have from AliExpress. So maybe you're gonna find something nice for yourself, and if you do, check out my website thomaswatchreviews.com. You will find each watch on my website with pictures and descriptions and with links to AliExpress and with links to YouTube videos about a given watch and everything, you know. So in this video I'm gonna take each watch one by one, and I'm gonna tell you something positive and something negative to keep it balanced. First of all, let me show you my website and tell you the reason why I'm giving links to my website instead of AliExpress. Well, first of all, let me show you my new menu section where you can choose a watch by style. By style: David, diver, dress, military, chrono and digital. For example, let's go to divers. And there are all the watches that I have reviewed. And for example, let's check this Adidas dive watch. And the point of my website is that it gives links to multiple things. Like for example, you can check a YouTube video about a given watch. Also, you can check my Reddit post about a given watch, and you can see what other people think about that watch, and you can also ask those people questions about this watch and so on. And also you'll find my big pictures. But the problem with Reddit is that when I upload pictures to Reddit, they lose quality quite a bit. That's the reason why I also upload my pictures to Facebook, because on Facebook the quality remains a lot better. Let me show you an example. This is the picture on Facebook, all nice and sharp, but if I go to Reddit, it loses the sharpness for some reason. So if you want to see good quality pictures, go to my Facebook posts. And yeah, that's basically the reason for my website. Also, you'll often find multiple links to AliExpress, which will lead to different AliExpress stores. And the reason for that is that different stores set different prices for different regions, and sometimes you can't even buy from certain shops in certain regions. So also I encourage checking out different stores to find the best deals. So that's the point of my website. I hope you find my website fun to use, easy and helpful. So in no particular order, let's begin with this parachute regulator. And positive thing about this watch is that it looks absolutely incredible. Very nicely finished watch. The dial, hands and the case, it looks very special, and the strap on this watch feels very nice. And I really like that hands on this watch are actually black. Usually on this kind of watch you will find blue hands, which I don't necessarily like very much, but black hands I really like how they look like on this copper color dial. So you know what, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna rush. Sorry, this video might gonna be a little bit long, but I myself wanna play with these watches. So let's do that together. The dial on this watch is spectacular, and it's not sitting deep, and the case is rather slim. Such a super nice looking watch. You know, this watch is nice enough to be like a wedding watch in my opinion. Yeah, this watch is absolutely incredible. Manual wound, by the way. Now the negative thing about this watch, as I told you, also gonna tell a negative thing, is that, well, maybe there is some looseness in the gearing. You know, when I move minute hand, pay attention to the hour hand as well. There is quite a little bit of free play before gears and gauges, but you know, in practice, once I set the time forward, press the crown in, there are no problems. So honestly, there isn't really anything actually to complain about this watch. Such an awesome looking thing. Another very eye-catchy watch that I have is this Bodary Landmaster. I absolutely love the dial on this watch. It's very nice yellow color. Very nice yellow color with a little tint towards the orange, which makes it look just nice, just very sweet. It doesn't look cheap, you know. So this watch has sapphire crystal and titanium case, and it is also available with titanium bracelet if you want. Titanium bracelet looks like this. Well, if you want more information about this watch, you know, just go to my website and you'll find full video specifically dedicated to this watch. But all I can tell you that this watch is really nice, you know, it's like summery kind of a watch. The negative thing about this watch is that it is, you know, rather long and rather flat. So on my 16.5 centimeter wrist or 6.5 inches wrist, this watch wears a little bit large, but honestly that's the only thing I can find to complain about this watch, because I mean, just look at this thing, it looks unbelievable. You know what, let's play a little bit with the light. Maybe this dial needs a little bit of contrast. Yeah, let's give it more contrast. And sapphire crystal on this watch is very nice. Very nice sapphire crystal. Very contrasty, very beautiful watch. You know, let's not rush. Let's turn off another light. Even, you know, in this dim light, it still looks rather nice. Well, rather nice. It looks awesome. This thing looks awesome. Yeah, I do recommend getting this watch. If you have wrists a little bit bigger than mine, this titanium watch with sapphire crystal and NH35 movement is just awesome. This is a very, very lovely watch. This is a proper military style watch from Lithuania with a very lovely green dial, and I say proper because it's actually a very well built watch, especially given the fact of the, you know, military styling. It has good lume, it has day and date complication with this NH36 movement, which is very welcome on tool style watch. Also sapphire crystal on this watch, even though it's domed sapphire crystal, it has very good anti-reflective coating and has plenty of water resistance, so it's awesome. This watch is awesome and looks awesome. So the negative thing about this watch is that from side profile it looks a little bit bulky. I wish this watch was a little bit slimmer, but other than that, this thing is amazing. This is a chronograph watch from Watch Dives, a very beautiful one. I love chronograph watches in general, and this one in particular is one of the best looking ones in my eyes, especially with this white dial. It looks just so lively. This watch, look, let me show you. Let's switch the light a little bit, maybe turn it off. It doesn't matter the kind of lighting, the angle, the whatever, it looks just beautiful no matter what. This watch looks unbelievable, and I especially love the crystal on this watch. It's sapphire crystal with rounded up edges, and it has very good anti-reflective coating. And the pushers on this watch, they feel so nice, they are so clicky, they are so satisfying to use. Awesome. And the bracelet tapers down and it has plenty of flexibility, which makes it feel very comfortable on the wrist. Yeah, this is awesome watch, and as I see for the current price, this watch is really good value for money in my opinion. The negative thing of this watch is that the bracelet is a little bit sharp, the case is a little bit sharp, and the clasp on these edges is basically as sharp as a razor knife. But other than that, for the given price point, this watch is amazing. This is a very, very beautiful dress watch from Pierre Philippe. And the good thing about this watch is that it looks spectacular, it looks awesome, and it's very slim. And when I take this watch off my wrist, let me show you the case back of this watch. This is a manual wound watch, and the case back on this watch looks like this. That's amazing. And I mean, look how slim this watch is. And it has, you know, it has mineral crystal, but it's decent mineral crystal, and on a dress watch it's really not the deal breaker, I would say, especially when the watch looks this good. The negative thing about this watch, as I saw from the public's reaction, is the brand name, because Pierre Philippe sounds a little bit too much like Patek Philippe. You know, it's just too much, too close. So if the brand name was a little bit different, you know, a little bit more unique sounding, I believe they would sell a lot more of these beauties. Wonderful looking watch. Sanda Tank Homage. I believe this is the most popular watch, at least according to my affiliate sales statistics. So this is the small version, which is honestly even for me too small, and this is that larger version. Awesome looking watch, and it's not expensive. As I see currently, it's just 15 euros before all kinds of crazy coupons. And if you need coupons, check out the description of this video, you will find some nice discounts. So the negative thing about this watch is that the ticking on this watch is rather loud, and for me personally I find the ticking on this watch a little bit annoying, and for that reason I recommend another watch, which, well, I will show you later, but it costs half the price and it has no ticking sound. So about that watch a little bit later. But yeah, Sanda watch, that's one of the most popular watches according to my affiliate sales. And for a little bit less than the price of Sanda watch, you can get this Skmi watch, which costs, as I see right now, 12 euros before coupons. And not only the strap on this watch feels wonderful, but the watch itself is actually very nice quality, you know, especially for the given price point. It doesn't have loud and annoying ticking sound, which is very nice, very big plus point for me personally, especially for the given price point. And also the dial on this watch, it has no right to look this good for the given price point. This watch looks unbelievable, unbelievable. The dial on this watch is so beautiful. I mean, look at this thing. And also, it has this mineral crystal, but look at the shape of this mineral crystal. It's so nice, and this watch is so slim. 12 euro watch. This is insane. Unbelievable price, you know, value for money. And the strap on this watch, soft and squishy. It's a nice leather strap on this watch. Yeah, this watch is no-brainer. A very high recommendation from me personally. This is Adidas Dive AD2084, and the special thing about this watch that I like the best, despite its beautiful looks, is the sapphire crystal on this watch. This is a very good example of perfect sapphire crystal. I'm not just saying good, but this sapphire crystal for me personally is perfect. Not only the shape is very beautiful, anti-reflective coating is very strong, but I also love that anti-reflective coating on this crystal is blue. It looks so nice. I know some people don't like it, but for me personally, blue anti-reflective coating is just so lovely. I don't know, something looks a little bit dreamy about blue anti-reflective coating. I really love it. I really love it. And the watch itself is actually a very good quality watch. The bezel action, the build quality, everything, you know, it's a proper, well-built, very good watch with a very good lume. And only one negative thing about this watch is that it's a rather thick watch. You know, it's a rather thick watch. I wish it was slimmer by at least 2 millimeters, you know. Yeah, it's a little bit bulky and it wears a little bit top heavy because of that. But oh boy, this watch looks so good. And from a very beautiful looking watch, let's move on to a very crazy looking watch. This watch is definitely not for everyone, and yes, you can buy this watch on AliExpress. This is more of an art piece rather than a watch in my opinion, but I still like it. I actually like it. I honestly like this thing. This is like some kind of art piece on the wrist, and look at the dial right now. Look at the dial. Not only this sapphire crystal has this very beautiful blue anti-reflective coating, which I like very much, but also look at this thing. It's I do find some things of this watch to be pretty. I mean, the movement, the crystal on this watch, this is interesting, you know. And you know, this is not some kind of just nasty cheap movement in this watch. This is actually high beat movement in this watch, and this is actually very nice domed sapphire crystal, and the case is actually titanium, and the strap feels wonderful, and the build quality, I mean, there are no sharp edges, nothing on this watch, and the rotor is engraved as Novamos, the brand name. Yeah, this is definitely not your standard watch. This is something very crazy, not for everyone, but yeah, you can actually buy this crazy thing on AliExpress. And from the craziest looking watch, let's move on to probably the most normal looking daily watch, this Bernie. And this Bernie only looks normal because really it actually isn't. In my opinion, this is actually a very special watch. Not only it's very well built, you know, it has this good sapphire crystal with very good anti-reflective coating, as you can see. It looks awesome. It has very good lume. It has this quartz movement with day and date complication. It has this very interesting pattern on the dial. It's actually a very slim watch, and it is made out of titanium. And usually this watch is rather cheap considering the specifications. Yeah, this watch is one of those watches that's actually very strong recommendation from me personally. And you know, if I have to include one negative thing speaking about this watch, I struggle. I really struggle. I really don't know what to say negative about this watch. There is, well, honestly, I can't really find anything to complain about. This is a wonderful watch. So from one awesome watch to another awesome watch. This is awesome watch from Dive. And what I like the best about this watch is that it's simple, straightforward, to the point design, no nonsense whatsoever, and it has this VH31 movement with sweeping seconds hand, and as always Dive has very good loom. And the negative thing about this watch is that it has mineral crystal, just mineral crystal. You know, such an awesome watch. I really wish it would have sapphire crystal, but this is a cheap watch and the mineral crystal on this watch is amazing. It's basically as good as you can get. Very good anti-reflective coating, and it's blue. I love it. And look at the shape, it looks so good, so good. And the size and the proportions. This is a wonderful watch, and I wear this watch on this custom nylon strap, which you can find on my website. Yeah, this watch is also a very strong recommendation. So nice watch after the nice watch, and this one is actually pretty nice as well, especially after I will tell you the price of this watch. The price for this watch right now, as I see, it is €3.50. Yeah, this watch is €3.50. You know, given the price point, it's impossible to complain. But you know, if I have to, the strap on this watch is really bad. So if you buy this watch, you have to have some custom straps. Not a big deal because lug width is standard 20mm. And another problem which you should expect on this watch is some dust particles on the dial, which is honestly not a big deal, easy to disassemble and to clean it, to remove it. Not a big deal, especially on a €3.50 watch. And the dial looks rather interesting with this interesting pattern. And the case on this watch also has this moon shape. I mean, this is not a bad looking watch, you know, especially for €3.50. And also one more thing, the ticking sound on this watch is actually rather silent. It's definitely a lot quieter than standard watches. Yet another very purposeful military style watch. This one is from Militado. This is called ML12. This watch is very lovely. It has very beautiful green color, and given the price point, it's nice to have sapphire crystal, you know. It's very nice to have sapphire crystal at this price point, and I just love this kind of lovely, straightforward, you know, form follows function design. I think it is nice. So if I have to complain about something, sapphire crystal on this watch is domed, and anti-reflective coating, it's not the best on this watch, and the loom is not strong on this watch, and that's it. Other than that, there is nothing to complain, especially given the price point of this beauty. This is very fancy retro style watch from Torn called T016. You know, this is a little bit crazy watch, but in a nice way. Some watches are crazy in a nice way, and this is a very good example of that. The craziness on this watch is very well tamed, and I mean, just look how playful it looks, like changing the light angle on this watch. Yeah, this watch is something special. You know, if you want something a little bit crazy, very special looking, this is a very interesting option, especially with this beautiful vertically brushed brown dial. This watch also has PT5000 high beat movement. And speaking about negatives, I actually struggle to find something negative to tell you about this watch. I don't know, you know, I really don't have anything to complain about. It's a nice watch. Nice watch. And this is yet another retro or vintage style watch from Torn called T004, and also with PT5000 movement and sapphire crystal and plenty of water resistance and so on. You know, I like Torn watches in general. They make good quality watches, you know, proper materials and proper build quality, nothing really to complain about. This watch as well. What's special about this watch that it is 34mm, so it's actually rather small, but that's the special thing about this watch, because this extra small size gives off a very strong vintage vibe about this watch. That's rather special, and I love the bezel on this watch and the crystal on this watch, and I mean it's awesome watch. Also finding something to complain about this watch, I don't know, maybe the same thing across the whole range. I wish this watch would have a little bit more originality, you know, but other than that, this thing is awesome. Another very lovely watch, and according to my affiliate statistics, this is a rather popular watch. A lot of you have bought this watch, surprisingly so, because it's not super cheap. At the moment I did a review about this watch, it was 35 euros, and it doesn't even have stainless steel case. As I have tested the magnet, it's just alloy case, but this watch is pretty enough for enough people to like it, even though it doesn't even have, you know, logo on the dial, it doesn't even have name, but it's pretty enough. So, you know, if I could complain about one thing, I would say I wish it would have a name, you know, a brand or something. It's a nameless watch, but surprisingly for a lot of people that's actually a plus thing. So I don't know, I'm a little bit confused about this watch, but as I see currently the price went down to 25 euros, and on top of that you can use some discount codes, so I guess it's not bad. From a very tiny, very cute watch to a beast of a watch, this is Adidas Dive AD2090. Awesome looking watch, and what's special about this watch that it's very big watch, yet on my small wrist it doesn't feel too bad, you know, because lug to lug distance is very compact. It actually wears a lot smaller than it looks like, and this watch looks awesome. And as always from Adidas Dive, the lume on this watch is just crazy good, especially given the fact that you know, indices and hands are very large, so the lume on this watch shines like crazy. So the current price of this watch, as I see right now, before discounts is, I mean before discount coupons, is 123 euros, which is reasonable, I would say, for the watch what it is. This is a very reasonable price. But I also see that the older version of this watch, the name of the older version, hold on a second, I will look at the specifications. MY-H5 older version costs before coupons 80 euros, and yeah, that's crazy good price point, I would say, especially given the fact that it has this automatic and H35 movement, very good lume, very good sapphire crystal, very good water resistance, and overall this watch is just crazy in a very lovely way. Yeah, this watch is awesome. From a crazy beast of a watch back down to a very lovely dress watch, very classy one. This thing looks awesome. It simply looks awesome. It's slim, it's lovely. It's a lightweight quartz watch and still has the sapphire crystal. And as I see currently, it costs 67 euros before coupons. And I would say for a watch like this that looks this crazy good, it's a crazy good value for money, you know, it's amazing. This watch looks spectacular. The only thing I could complain about is that I wish this watch would have a little bit more originality, you know, but well, as far as I understand, the lack of originality of this watch is actually the selling point of this watch, so, you know, who am I to complain about that? Anyway, for the given price point, this watch is spectacular. This is diving style watch from Adidas Dive called AD2087, which looks pretty much like this watch, except it has a little bit of unique twist, unique flavor, and I respect that. That's nice that Adidas Dive is trying to make something at least a little bit, you know, different, at least a little bit unique. That's nice. And what's also nice is the dial on this watch. It has this vertical brushing, and the dial itself is a little bit shiny. It's interesting, okay? And for the given price point, it's actually a pretty good watch. And what I could complain about is overall the design of this watch is, I don't know, I'm not sure about it. I probably should have bought the black version. So that's what I'm not sure about. Other than that, rather interesting watch. This is cheap digital watch from Skme. It costs just around 8 euros, and what I like the most about this watch is its functionality. It's a dual time zone watch and has a proper stopwatch, yeah, and it has a timer function. So for the given price point, this is a very functional watch with big screen, Negative thing about this watch that I could complain about is that the screen itself is not very good. At a slight angle it basically disappears. But for the given price point and functionality, this watch is awesome. This is Adidas Dive AD 2075 with the green dial. Very beautiful green dial. So the major thing that I like about this watch is obviously the dial. So let me show you this dial from up close, because it looks rather special. This is very beautiful dial, and this is, you know, Adidas Dive watch after watch, they started making very beautiful dials, so I would like to notice that. Adidas Dive makes very beautiful dials. The problem with this watch, well, the thing I could complain about is that the crystal on this watch is very distortive, and anti-reflective coating on this watch is not the best. But still, it has its moments. At certain angles this watch looks rather special. This is a dress watch from Rhodland called F028. Very special looking watch. Rectangular, I would say retro inspired rather. Very nice watch. It has just mineral crystal, but you know, on a dress watch it's not really a deal breaker, and mineral crystal on this watch is actually very good. It has very good clarity and very beautiful dial and very beautiful hands and very beautiful shape of the case. Man, this thing is awesome. It looks amazing. One thing I don't like about this watch is the lug design, because even though they look nice, they fit the style and all, they're a little bit difficult to use, because you have to unscrew those tiny screws in order to change the straps. So if you like changing straps, this watch is gonna be a little bit annoying. But this watch costs around 120 euros as I see right now before coupons, so I would say it's a rather crazy nice watch for the price. This is Top Hill TG007G watch. What I like about this watch is just a simple, straightforward, to the point design, no nonsense, and beautiful bracelet. I just wish this bracelet would be tapering down, which this one doesn't, and it's 22mm lug width, which is a little bit much for this watch in my opinion. And when I bought this watch initially for a review, it was 140 euros, so I was complaining about this watch quite a lot in my video. But as I see right now, the price of this watch before coupons is 73 euros. And for 73 euros before coupons, it's a rather reasonably good watch, you know. Has sapphire crystal and H35 movement, very good bezel action. Yeah, for the given price point, not bad at all. This is a dress watch by Merkur, which has pearl seconds subdial insert, rather special looking thing, and blued hands and manual wound movement and sapphire crystal and all that for 107 euros before coupons. That's crazy. That's crazy. So very nice watch. But if I would have to complain about something, I would probably complain about sapphire crystal on this watch. It's domed sapphire crystal, and I wish it would have a little bit better anti-reflective coating, because even with this bright dial, reflections are a little bit standing in the way. But generally speaking, for the price point, this watch is crazy nice, and I especially love this pearl insert on the second subdial. Look, usually it looks black, but on like totally black, but on certain angles this pearl just pops out and plays out in the light like some kind of portal to another dimension. This thing looks amazing. What you are looking at right now is a 7 euro watch from Ojeda. This thing costs 7 euros. That's insanity. That's crazy. And unexpectedly, the strap also feels nice. This is a nice feeling strap. So the price for this watch is insanely cheap, and the watch is awesome. And I strongly recommend this way more than Sander, because Sander has loud ticking noise, which is for me personally very annoying. But Ojeda watches simply don't have the ticking sound. So nothing really to complain about. Wonderful looking watch. And after this Ojeda, let's move on to the last 5 watches, which are actually my favorites. Beginning with this Ojeda. This is the same watch, just blue dial. I love this watch. I wear this watch on this crazy horse leather strap, which you can find on my website. And I just love this blue color on this dial and this contrast with those bold white indices. This watch looks spectacular and it's very comfortable watch. I have worn this watch straight full week, single watch this watch. That's how much I like it, and it's awesome. And this watch stays in my personal collection, you know. So yeah, this is very strong recommendation. As for €7, this watch is just unbelievable. Another cheap watch which I have worn surprisingly a lot, and I still wear this watch from time to time, is this SKMI 2218. The price of this watch is just €4.40. It's ridiculously cheap, especially given the fact that the strap alone is worth the price in my opinion. It's very good silicone strap and multiple colors available. And on top of that, you also get this beautiful watch. The negative thing about this watch that it is a little bit difficult to set, that it only has one button, but if you want to know how to set this watch, check out the video about this watch. I explained that in details. But once you set this watch, you can forget about it. You know, it's a big screen, easy to read. The view angle on the screen is actually very decent. And this watch, at least for me personally, it's a very beautiful thing. I really love the summer vibe on this watch. It's nice thing, man. This watch is nice. I love having this watch on my wrist. Very strong recommendation, this watch. Another very special watch which I like very much is this Storm T013. I have worn this watch quite a lot, to be honest, and I still wear this watch from time to time. This is my personal like fancy watch. I really like it. I know the crown on this watch is very polarizing, but for me this is one of the major selling points. Also, the lume on this watch is probably the best lume out of any watches that I currently have. The lume on this watch is just insane. The lume on this watch is like radioactive. Let me show you real quick. I don't know if you can see much, but in real life this watch glows on my wrist more often than it doesn't. And I just love how this watch looks like. It looks so special, so vintage. It looks so cool. I love it. And it has this manual wound ST17 movement. And with this big crown, winding this watch is just a pleasant thing to do. So yeah, this watch is amazing. One thing I could complain about quite a lot actually is that this watch has fixed lug design, and for me personally that is super annoying. I so wish it would have just a simple lug so I could wear this watch on simple straps. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but other than that, this watch, well, I like it a lot. Okay, personally I really like this watch. And after I will done filming this video, this watch will come back on my wrist because this is my daily. I absolutely love this watch. I can't believe I wear a watch with mineral crystal as my daily, but here we go. I like this watch so much that I don't even mind that this watch has a mineral crystal. This is Adidas Dive AD2068, and there are a lot of very nice things about this watch, starting with the lume. Lume on this watch is crazy good, absolutely craziness. And what I like the best probably is how this watch sits and looks on my wrist. It's so flat, it's so sleek. The profile of this watch makes this watch to look very special. I mean, just look at this watch from the side profile. That's a very special look. And even though this is mineral crystal, this is basically the best you can get as far as mineral crystals go. It's very beautiful. It has incredibly good anti-reflective coating. And I love this blue color. It's a little bit faded and gives off this vintage aesthetics. You know, this is a homage to vintage Rolexes and Tudors. And what I like, that it's not really a copy. This is a homage because, well, it doesn't have crown guards. It has different profile, you know, it's different a little bit proportions. Absolutely love this watch, and I wear this watch right now on this two-piece nylon strap, which you can find on my website. Very comfortable strap, very high recommendation. So yeah, this watch currently, let me see, currently it costs €55, around €55 before applying coupon codes. Crazy good watch for the price, crazy good, very strong recommendation. I'm pretty sure no one is gonna be disappointed with this watch. This is spectacular thing. And the last watch is the watch that's gonna stay in my collection forever, because this is the first watch that I ever received as a sponsored watch. This watch I got from Pagan Design. This is PD 1651. Rather nice watch, rather nice watch. So all other watches might come and go, but this one will stay in my collection forever as a, you know, some kind of trophy watch. And this watch lives in my living room inside the white watchwinder box, you know, as a trophy. I love how it looks like. It's rather a special looking thing, and it is rather special watch for me, you know, some kind of personal achievement watch. Yeah, that's awesome. So thanks Pagani Design. And for the ending of this video, I have my 5 favorite watches on the table, and I would like to remind you that if in this video you saw any watch that you are interested in, you can find more information on my website thomaswatchreviews.com. So I hope this video wasn't too long and wasn't too boring to watch. So thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, and don't forget to use coupon codes from the description of this video. Goodbye.